So you're doing sharing. We are reviewing the Sutta, Dhamma chapter, and maybe after that I will share with you all the two four circle formation that Swee set out. Okay, minor, continue. Just now we stop at page 160.
The Buddha then repeated the same for all the other sense door consciousness as below. The nose bhikkhus is burning, or doors are burning. Smell or sense data received by the nose are burning. Nose or sense consciousness is burning. Nose contact is burning. The tongue bhikkhus is burning. Tastes are burning. Taste or sense data received by the body are burning. Tongue or taste consciousness is burning. Tongue or taste contact is burning. The body bhikkhus is burning. Tactile sensations are burning. Tactile feelings or sense data received by the body are burning. Body or tactile consciousness is burning. Tongue contact is burning. The mind is burning. Thoughts are burning. Mental objects received by the mind are burning. Mind or thought consciousness is burning. Mind contact is burning. Also whatever is felt as pleasant or painful, or neither painful nor pleasant, that arises with mind contact, that too is burning. With what are they burning? Burning with the fire of lust, passion, lobha, with the fire of hate, dosa, and with the fire of delusion, moha. I say it is burning with birth, aging and death, with sorrow, with lamentation, with pain, with grief, with despair. Bhikkhus, when the noble disciples who has heard this truth and clearly seeing things thus, he becomes wary of the eye, wary of visual forms, wary of eye or seeing consciousness, wary of eye contact, and wary of whatsoever is felt as pleasant or unpleasant painful, or neither pleasant nor unpleasant painful that arises with eye contact. He becomes wary of the ear.
Okay, no need to repeat. Then we skip until he becomes wary of the mind. You read from there on.
He becomes wary of the mind, wary of thoughts or mental forms, wary of mind or thought consciousness, wary of mind contact, and wary of whatsoever is felt as pleasant or unpleasant, painful or neither pleasant nor unpleasant painful that arises with mind contact. In this way he becomes free of passion, and he becomes aware of feeling, with insight, knowledge and wisdom. He knows there is no more rebirth, that the holy life is his, that he has done all that should be done. These were the Blessed One's words. When he spoke to the bhikkhus thus, the whole congregation of over 1,000 bhikkhus rejoiced, approved of his words, and attained liberation from the asawa through clinging no more, and their hearts were completely free. 2.3 Notes from another commentary. Bhikkhus, form is burning, feeling is burning, perception is burning, volitional formation are burning, and consciousness is burning. Seeing thus, the instructed noble disciples' experiences vary towards form, feeling, perception, volitional formations and consciousness. Through this passion, and this mind is liberated. The ensuing text reveals that all sabha refers to, number one, the 6 internal sense bases, ayatana, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. Number 2, the 6 external sense bases, visible forms, sounds, smells, tastes, touches and mental objects. Number 3, consciousness, vijnana, contingent on these sense bases. By burning, adita is meant the fire of passion, raga gina, the fire of aversion, dosa gina, the fire of delusion, Maha gina, the manifestation of suffering, birth, aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, distress and despair. Disenchanted, he becomes dispassionate. Through dispassion, he is fully released. With full release, there is the understanding, fully released. He descends that birth is ended, the holy life fulfilled, the task done. There is nothing further for this world.
Okay, so I have to explain a bit. This fire sermon is a very famous sermon. It seems when the Buddha spoke or proclaimed the fire sermon, a lot of the followers, monks, and there is one group of people who worship fire, they all become enlightened. So this one also linked to the Paticca So maybe I just share one part so that you know. Bhikkhu, all things are burning. What bhikkhu are all these things burning? So he gave the example of the organ or the eye. So this is about the Paticca Samuppada. All your sense organs, the 6 of them, they are all burning. Burning with the 3 evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion. That's why he said the eye, bhikkhu, is burning. And the sense data, visual form, are burnings. Visual form, sense, data are burning. Then eye and seeing consciousness is burning. Eye contact is burning. Also whatsoever feeling felt, as pleasant, unpleasant, and neither pleasant nor unpleasant, that arises with eye contact, that too is burning. Which means the movement of Paticca Samuppada. You see, when we live life, we have to actually interact with the world. And when we interact with the world, how do we know the world? Through our senses, through our respective consciousness that arise. That's why the first to arise is always that consciousness, seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, eye consciousness. So the eye is burning, means the organ. Then after that, the next one that comes is whatever sense data, visual form. That one, before it arises, if you have the Dhamma, you will understand. All this will move the mind, Paticca Samuppada. So you don't have the wisdom to insight into their danger, you will cling, you will grasp. So the moment of contact is consciousness. Then for the consciousness to arrive, you need the other interacting condition, sense data. Then the consciousness make contact. Then from there, if you read the Sutta, he said every stage of this is burning. So that visual form received by the eye, they are also burning. Then the eye or seeing consciousness that arises after that is also burning. Then eye contact, all the contact of the senses, actually they are burning. Because it's potential for suffering to arise. So this fire sermon, it was so powerful that during that time when the Buddha proclaimed it, I think a lot of monks at that time, they were actually new followers. They just awakened. Why is it possible? Because they have their past cultivation. Then this group of people that actually awakened is because they worship fire. So when you use fire as the burning instrument, they understand. That's why these are the skillful means that the Buddha, Sakyamuni, he has this special ability to make use of this. So this is what the fire summon is all about. Then when they ask, with what are they burning? Burning with the fire of lust, passion, craving. This is the evil roots of greed. That's why I put in the bracket loba. And burning with the fire of hatred, dosa. And burning with the fire of delusion, moha. When the three evil roots are there, it means you don't have the right understanding, you don't have the right view, you don't have yoriso, manasika. That's why all this will afflict the living being. So this fire sermon can bring for a lot of understanding, and where they are ready, they have been cultivated in the past and their life. So all this become possible in trigger off. Okay, at least we finish the fire sermon. So now we will go to that one. Oh, there's one more part, 18 cents one. Okay, no, this one I think easy to see. The 18 cents line, the 3 sets of 6 we already gone through. Then the sense organ of the 5 basic senses, the eye, ear, nose, tongue, tactile, there is a common denominator, the mind in the center. So meditation consists of 2 parts. Oh, okay. I read the thing when I help you. First part is to train the mind to be heedful. Then the second part is to make use of the trained mind in heedfulness to live life. Cultivate Noble Eightfold Path with specific emphasis on the 4 foundation of mindfulness. This mind that is trained listens to you. And you want it to be silent with it, you will just be silent with it. You want it to be aware of things, then you will just do that. Even if you want it to be at the moment of feeling, at the moment of perception, activity of mind and consciousness, or even contact, then you will just do that. It listens to you. Heedfulness can only arise when the mind is trained. To be heedful, one must know how to silence one's mind, to connect to one's true mind. The untrained mind is very heedless, and it thinks a lot because of ignorance, avijja paccaya sankara. Without this, heedfulness develops. One is as if dead, special, spiritually dead, as per Dhammapada verse 21. Since heedfulness is the path to the deathless, the heedful do not die. So please do strive on with heedfulness. Okay. Then we stop here. Then turn to your handphone. You open up the second copy. Okay. The 4th circle, important special Dhamma. Everybody has it? Yeah. You see, the 4th circle at the top indicate the cultivation after you have developed understanding, the awakening, enlightenment. Then it transforms and becomes different. Initially is this one, the 4th circle. This is how we fall through the creation. This is how you actually can return. So we go down to the bottom page, the human being. Human being means for our case, as human. So the first one that you see is with the five aggregates, the grasping aggregate, upadana khandhas, the human being is being grasped as the I and the me, the ego, the atta, due to sakkaya ditthi. Then because of that, the karmic movement, they move. Mind is the forerunner of all things, mind is chief. When mind arises, all things arise. So the movement out is for cultivation. Then as a human being, before you become enlightened, before you have the Dhamma, you actually dominated by mundane living, the square on your left. Dominated by the five mental hindrances, the three evil roots leading to suffering. Then the external phenomenal world of consciousness with its three universal characteristics. Because you cannot understand them, you cannot see them. So suffering arises because the external phenomenal world of consciousness with its three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta cannot be comprehended. You cannot realize it. You cannot insight into it. Then how do they cultivate? Then they have to understand anything perceivable by the mind is a mental phenomenon, like the Buddha's block-out analogy. When the parts come together, enabling it to perform a function, we give it a name and a concept. Then the block-out arises and exists already. When the block-out's parts are separated, block-out is gone and no more. Hence, condition arising, like that table, like every phenomena that you observe. So this is a very penetrative understanding. Once you have this, then you can move up. This samsaric mind needs to break the delusion. So that circle with the samsaric mind is before you become enlightened, before it transforms into the supramundane mind. So how do you break free? On the right, learn to see form, learn to see the unreality of form. We are understanding that they are impermanent conditions arising. Then learn to see beyond form. We are the direct seeing. So this is how you cultivate. Then samsaric or mundane mind, clinging and grasping onto the five angry of form and mind via delusion, lead to heedless living. Then you move up. Can develop wisdom via direct seeing, meditation, via silent mind with inner awareness, to connect back to the true mind. So when you can do that, then you will understand impermanent and empty nature. Yeah. What a sneeze. Okay. You will be able to see and understand impermanent and empty or non-self nature of all phenomena. Seeing them as condition arising entity, not a permanent and changing entity. This one is perceived through the mental. And when you perceive it through the mental, it's just an image, even more unreal. Then you transform via wisdom. Then when you transform via wisdom, that mundane, samsaric mind becomes supramundane. Then on the right, existential or phenomenal world with the wisdom, supramundane mind, is noble living or enlightenment living. So enlightened heedful and aware most of the time. That's why that noble life, the enlightenment living is heedfulness, heedful living. Then when you have the supramundane mind developed, means your mundane mind actually technically has collapsed, or you have realized the sainthood way, and you have hit the arahant, what they call, stage, then when you about to pass away, parinirvana, there is no more rebirth consciousness, then you just cease. But during that time, before it happened, this supramundane mind actually is your true mind, the silent mind, that's why it emerged. Then this true mind, pure awareness nature, it will cease. When that mundane mind or supramundane mind with the wisdom realizes itself and cease, including the pure awareness nature, then you realize Nibbana. Then up there, the wisdom that arises, the rectangle, perception of form is consciousness, whereas its non-perception is wisdom. This is, we are seeing things as they are, as per Surangama Sutra's stanza. Then when you are liberated, liberation leads to peace, love, and joy. It's a free mind. That's why they call them enlightened beings. We are the cultivation of Noble Eightfold Path, building and strengthening the 5 spiritual faculties. So this one I think is clear. So this is a special Dhamma that we share on the 12th of March 2013. So this chart actually is very good. They actually prepare a draft, then I look at it, and I improve on it, then we have it. But I didn't put it into the Sutta. It's not in the book there. Never mind, it's okay. Okay, then the other one is the normal 4-circle formation. Okay, this 4-circle formation is about the stages of creation. I'm worried those at the back cannot see, although Chan's writing is very much better and bigger, but from that place I don't think you can see. So to help you, you have to open up your handphone and see this 4-circle formation. The one in red color is spiritual nature, karmic nature. Then I better use the whiteboard. Like I explained, initially the beginning of all things, we call it the source. We are from the source, everything arises. It's like the scientific theory, the Big Bang, how existence comes to be. From the Big Bang, from the void, suddenly it's triggered. So that is the source. So from the source, the scientists also know they got another name. I think you all heard of this word before, isn't it? Singularity. So this word can also be used. That is a scientific way. It's like from this singularity, the Big Bang starts, the whole thing surged expanding universe trigger. So this movement is based on energy, very powerful energy, because the universe is full of mystery before the science catch up with it and unravel it. You know what are the main mystery or not? The main mystery is there are a lot of black holes. You know what is black hole? No? Huh? How many of you are not science students? Not everybody is science student. Oh, not science student. Black hole is a physics term, scientific physics term. So, you see, as a planet, like Earth, we have certain escape velocity. To escape from the pull of the Earth's gravity, so that you can travel into space, there's an escape velocity. And they call it, the magnitude is, if I'm not wrong, 5,000, I don't know whether kilometer or miles. My time must be miles. We have studied FPS. 5,000 miles per second now. You must reach that speed now. Then it escape. Okay? So based on this escape velocity, if your planet or the sun is dense enough until the escape velocity reach the speed of light. You know what is the speed of light? So Earth escape velocity equal 5,000 miles per second. Per second, no, not per hour. And this is the speed. Then the speed of light, how fast light travel? Anybody can remember?
186.
Very good. Well, that must be my era. 186,000 miles per second. Not meter per second, miles per second. So if your escape velocity exceeds the speed of light, means that sun or that planet is so dense, even light cannot escape. Understand? Even you travel at the speed of light, cannot escape. That's why it's called black hole. Light also cannot escape. So this is the phenomena that accounted for the dark matter and all those things that the scientists actually couldn't understand. In fact, 70 or to 80% of the energy in the universe they cannot account for. Then the other thing that they couldn't even understand is Einstein. He actually did a very good job. He tried to understand all the scientific law that is available. Then he tried to come up with a unified theory so that he can have the mind of God. You know what is mind of God? Huh? Yeah, you say God create. So means his unified theory is like you know all the parameters. Then from there you can predict creation, how it happened. He tried and tried and tried. He never succeeded. He has everything wrong. If you are a science student, you will know. Huh? We have discovered so many things wrong. Gravity, electromagnetic, we call it energy. Then we also have what we call all the science. Nowadays, they even managed to discover the quantum forces. Then, below the quantum forces, they have this what they call I forgot already. There is a lot of this scientific term, all the law. Electricity is also one of them. Then all this, they actually put together. Gravity, whatever. Then they realize something missing. The one missing one is the dark matter. Then the other one, they only know about thought, they didn't go in deep. But awareness, pure awareness. And this one, they don't meditate, they don't know what this one is. That's why you cannot blame Einstein. So this one actually is the one that accounts for a lot of things. Because this one actually can manifest a lot of things. So maybe later, to be a real scientist, you must know how to meditate. You must know what this thing is. Then they can maybe do research and come up with all the understanding. But at the moment, doesn't seem to have any sign. But they have discovered a lot of elements, like in chemistry. All the rare elements, whatever now, even the nuclear fusion isotope, uranium and all things, what series, all, they actually have the understanding and the technology. So coming back to this, it's because of that we have this term called singularity. They come up with all the theory, they say. Very likely it has to start from somewhere. That's why they call it the source. And this is the beginning of all things. That's why some they call it the source. Then for us, spiritually, the Buddha, the Mahayana, they call it the original nature. Means originally it was this. Understand? Then from there it expanded. It manifests. Then the Buddha realized if you cultivate until Sammasambuddha, you can merge with this and you understand it. Actually, this one, Nibbana, like the Buddha mentioned, it's not like a prison where you can get saturated or not. Understand? You've got a lot of prisoners, then the capacity now and how can get saturated. But Nibbana can never get saturated. You know why not? Yeah? Well, nobody go there. Understand? Well, it's not a big. Then, in the early days, I saw a book titled, "See You in Nibbana." I just keep quiet. I want to laugh, but I just keep quiet. But I think later on, somebody comment or what. He did comment, actually cannot see you in Nibbana. But he didn't really explain. So what I want you to understand is, this source, at the moment, you understand it as what I explained to you is enough. Okay? Yeah. Then, unless you cultivate until here, and you reach almost here, then only you have a very good idea of what this is. Then every time you come, every life you go into cessation, then every life as a Bodhisattva, you manage to actually detect the gateway, go in. Then the 5 stages of Bodhi mind, you know what are the 5 there? The first stage of Bodhi mind is to take the Bodhisattva way, plant the seed of Bodhi with that, what they call sincerity, faith and understanding to walk this way, out of love for living being and all those things. Then once you did that, that is the first stage of Bodhi mind. Means you have planted the seed of Bodhi to walk this path, to cultivate to perfection. Then the second stage of Bodhi is Bodhi mind that has the ability to endure and severe all suffering. That one is a big cultivation, so that you have the wisdom and the understanding that you never suffer anymore. You have perfected it. But that 2 stage is still not a guaranteed completion. You have to hit the 3rd stage. 3rd stage is you cultivate a new Bodhi mind that illuminate this nature. Means the Bodhi mind you have planted, developed and cultivated until it can illuminate this nature. Means internal movement transformation. until we can illuminate this nature. Then when you illuminate this nature, your wisdom is so powerful. It's like extensive cultivation, life after life. Then you develop all the understanding. Then you move on to the fourth stage of Bodhi mind development. Bodhi mind that renounces samsara. By then, you are guaranteed. Because when you have renounced samsara means like what I explained to you. Existential world samsara, not real. Understand? But yet, there is such thing as life, wonderful existence, and you can come. You don't have to suffer. So to reach those stages, it's not easy. Then even after you're able to renounce samsara, of course, your cultivation will be more and more straightforward, more and more easy. But the perfection of the 10th perfection, the 5th stage, where you can reach the consummation of the perfection. That stage actually takes a very long time. You know, that perfection of the 10th paramita takes a very, very long time. So what happens is, like I said, you need a karmic nature to come to this existential world. You remember? Can you understand now? Yes. We have to come to this existential world. This one is existent, life, understand now? Yes. Creation. So this one needs karmic for my mind, karmically conditioned for my mind, vehicle and tool. So this is this line, you call this bracket tail. This is the segment that comes, understand now? The form my mind. Of course you can say this is you and me. You also have one segment. So this one that has the karmic what you call the karmic imprint. Yeah? Where it's from the karmic nature it come out. That's why all of us we can meditate to realize this. Understand? Because this was the first thing to come out from the source. Then it actually entered this flow. Understand? At the moment of birth. Not birth. Conception, when the consciousness come in, the rebirth consciousness go in. When the rebirth consciousness go in, that is the pure awareness nature. But it has the imprint of all the whatever, what they call karmic behind. That's why your DNA coding and all those things, the karmic retribution karma, all the whatever karma, everything is imprint inside that. But the pure awareness nature is actually there. That's why the baby, when they are just born, you realize or not? They got no thought. Understand? They very naive. Even as they grow up, the senses starts to develop, then they start to see. Initially it's very near. But what do they see? They cannot understand. It's very pure, very pure. It's the pure perception. Then you start to maybe teach them. Then they learn. That's how the mundane mind actually become more and more sophisticated and complicated and become heedless. Because that is the way they approach to maybe raise a child. So to them, that is already very good. Understand? And they provide nowadays couple or married couple with child. Normally only one or two. If one or two, I tell you, they really, you use the word what? Like pamper, not pamper, the English word is Soo Aun. You love that child, and you can sacrifice and provide a lot of things for them. So because of that, the evolution of society and progress of what our planet has gone through has actually created the evolution of society's activity and movement. So the beings that come, this, like just now we went through, technology is being emphasized. So 90% is thought-based. So hardly They can detect this one. Unless like you're a cultivator, you try, of course, not easy, try. But if you understand, then you can detect this. The moment you detect this, that is the beginning. That is the beginning. Then when you detect this, then you realize this one can develop a lot of wisdom, direct seeing, awakening, everything. Then you see the phenomenal as impermanent, unreal, dependent, originating, condition, arising, also. Then the anatta nature of existence, everything has the universal characteristic of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then from there, that wisdom can cause this to cease. When the mundane mind realizes itself through wisdom, then it ceases. Then as it ceases, this pure awareness nature also ceases. Then you return to the source. It's not a being, although I say you. Just that manifestation. And the glimpse of Nibbana, even for sainthood way, is already very powerful. Arahant, no more rebirth through ignorance. But those who go the Bodhisattva way, they understand this. Then when you look at this with your understanding after you develop the cultivation, then you realize from the source, the first thing to come out is this pure awareness nature. But we have forgotten that we have this. Understand? For you to realize this, the mundane thinking, mundane mind, thought, activity must cease. If this one don't cease, this one you cannot come into contact or realize. Why? Because it clouds this one. You, as a human being, our mind, we can only do one thing at a time. You understand what? Either you are lost in thought, preoccupied with what you think and what your mind activity, sankhara doing, or you are without thought in the present moment, understand? Here and now, with pure awareness, understand? Either you are aware or you are not aware, understand? Not aware means what? Lost in thought. In Hokkien say, 走出來 understand? You came out. It's just like you from a small town. You forgot now. You came out to the big city, then you travel around the world everywhere, then you forgot where your kampung is. So, actually, your kampung is actually here, the first. That's why I use the word primordial. This true mind or pure awareness nature is the primordial. The first one to come out. And from here, it creates, like the Buddha said, mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. So it created this five aggregate of form and mind. And this is basically our thought, understand? Of course, karmically, the first aspect of the human being, which is the form and mind, as a physical human being, and the consciousness trapped inside, that one is also a five aggregate. But what the Buddha is interested in is, this five aggregate, which is the mundane mind, is actually your thought. Because the mental five aggregate, you can remember. So these mental five aggregate, when they arise through the thought process, what happens is, we have our senses, sense bases, the six sense bases. So upon contact, consciousness come to be. Understand how? That's how the phenomenal world come about. But then you input the content of consciousness, which is your views, opinion, conditioning, belief system. And this one got mental intention behind. They have moral causation coming. That's how it makes this phenomenal world very complicated. Through mind, thought energy, which originated from the pure awareness nature, it becomes so complicated and so sophisticated. Then after you know science, that's why after I study science, from 4 5, my mind starts to probe. I start to connect back and understand a lot of things from the past. Then it starts to probe. Who are you? I say, who am I? What am I? a miserable 1 out of maybe 6 million human beings within a planet which is so small, and every star is a potential sun or bigger, and it's countless. And the whole universe is so immense, our sister, everything. So who are you? You are very insignificant. But yet, so insignificant, without you, the universe will not evolve and move until today and now. That's why one is all is one. So everything can be comprehended if you develop the awareness-based meditation. Then in your 4-circle formation inside the handphone, there is one arrow, red color one, from here to here. Blue color, sorry. What did I write there? Awareness-based meditation. That's why to return, you have to do the calculation based on the first chart that I have explained. Then develop the wisdom to insight into phenomena, to realize the unreality of form and mind. Then develop the wisdom to free, so that you are not gullible, not deceived. So to do that, you have to actually understand that this is a phenomenal world. That's why existential world, phenomenal world of consciousness, is also an illusionary world. Because it's mind-made consciousness that manifests, understand? Like the Buddha's analogy of the 5 ingredients. The last analogy, consciousness is what? Like a magician, understand? And what is a magician? Create illusion for you to see, understand? That's why it's called illusionary world, understand? So when you see that with this, then when you silence your mind, you're aware, then you realize that creation moves this way. So to return, how should you return? All external form, external manifestation and consciousness, you must return to what? Return it to a pure light. When you come back here, all this creation gone. Because this one has no thinking, no thought. This one is the unconditioned, beyond thought, beyond time. So if you don't develop this understanding to cultivate awareness-based meditation, so that you can be here to see all this and awaken and insight into the phenomena, there is no way you can become enlightened. Now you understand why thought-based cannot. Why the Buddha said that Dhamma is akaliko. So, akaliko is the timeless, beyond thought, beyond mind. So this is how you develop the understanding as you cultivate. Then to return is very easy. All the external manifestation, you return back to this mundane consciousness. Because from here it manifests through the senses. Understand? You understand? The 6 sense door. Without this one, there is no knowing. Understand? How do you know the world? How you interact with the senses? Understand? You become conscious of what you see, what you hear. Then this one, you put in the content. Every time you see all the beings, countless see, they put in the content. You know how much energy went in here. And these are stressful energy, mental suffering energy, with willpower and all the cunningness, all the evil roots, all there. That's why this one can actually develop into solid form and form planets, star system, everything. That's why when the black hole, I never write black hole. Okay, Chan, write for me black hole down there. You see, when all this black hole, which is tremendous energy retained inside there, this is the one that actually will create all the explosion. You know what is explosion? They call it the Big Bang. Like in Chinese New Year, you release on that one called firecrackers. That one is nothing. But this one is a Big Bang. Then the whole creation, our universe manifests. Not only our earth, Our Earth is one of these. The whole galaxy, universe came about and expanding, unending. What I want you to understand is the vastness of all this, so much of this energy. So when it happened, the Big Bang, the scientists now they know all these rare elements or whatever, actually from energy, they end up in all the space. Then somehow through over time, they crystallize and solidify into star system, planets. That's how it come about, understand now? There's a form, it's the product of this fellow, understand now? Which is thought-based. Then awareness is the origin, understand? From here, this one come, then create this one. Then now this one created the complexity of the universe, understand? So I ask you a very simple question. That awareness which has this potential, the scientists don't even know. How can they find a unified theory, understand? There is no way. Swee, yeah, you want to say something? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought of an analogy. How we, how do I put this in words? The phenomenal world of consciousness. You know how we have the cartoon like Mickey Mouse? It started with drawing one photo, and then next photo he move a bit, then you flip the whole book, it start moving, right? So I was thinking that is the beginning. After that, you have actually motion picture. Then with AI and robot, you can actually create one Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
So this creation of the world and the planet.
It's similar. It comes from what? The human mind's idea. The idea leads to the discovery. The discovery from there manifests. Take for example another very easy one during our time, so that we can understand. Last time don't have car, the prototype, the guy who created the first car, I tell you, he's a genius, you know. How do you know that this car, after you create, can learn how to drive one, and can have all this thing? But you have to evolve it, understand, through R&D, through improvement. Like now we call it ISO, International Standard Organization, to keep on improving. So the human brain, the thought process, very good at this type of thing, understand? That's why they keep on introducing on it. What I want you to understand is the complexity of the existential world. Understand?
I haven't finished.
Yeah.
So, drawing from that simplistic analogy, how we live our life with the mundane mind and our six senses, right? We learn people, their names, their condition, and then we learn about the world situation. And then now, if I close my eyes, my world or my PWC is like, okay, tomorrow I will wake up and then I will see the temple, I will get ready, I will see Brother Teo, I will see. So all these that I'm thinking, it's all from my memory. I'm not actually seeing them outside, but everything I'm simulating inside here is like a cartoon playing inside. So my phenomenal world of consciousness is all that. Everything I know, the world, how I know the world, how I interact with the world is through my eyes, nose,
through your senses.
All these snapshot, I learn about one person, and let's say
then the knowledge you learn from science, technology, education, everything.
It's like one photo of Mickey Mouse, one photo of Mickey Mouse. Then when I flip the whole thing, that's how I plan tomorrow. Cartoon playing already. Like all the pieces I piece together, and I interact with the world based on the limited knowledge I have in my mundane mind. It's so interesting. It's like, this is how everyone is living their life with all the assumptions in their head, and then they speak, and then they go back inside here, simulate, and then continue to make all the interaction in their PWC, and then continue to speak. It's just very different from how we thought we are living our life.
When your awareness and consciousness expand and become more refined, you have the higher consciousness, higher energy, then you can understand all these things, understand? Yeah, you came from that level. But without the awareness, I can tell you, I cannot be telling you all these things. even though I'm an engineer, I'm a science student. But because of this, I can. Then I can tell you, oh, a lot of my classmates, you ask Swee Aun, they are actually better than me on a lot of the PLY and they call. You know what is PLY? High standard. You ask Swee Aun, how many of them understand all this, the Dhamma approach? Hardly anybody. Can. Yeah. Like Swee Aun, he first class honor beat me on in the class. Yeah, Swee Aun, yes.
Just looking at the source and your awareness, mundane mind, phenomenal world. If originally it was white, originally the light is white.
Yeah.
And then each of us have a colored filter.
Yeah.
You look at blue, you look at magenta, you look at black and all that. So by the time you come out to the phenomenal world, we have all the colors. Alright? So Roger already. But now, from the phenomenal world, of course in between, if you've got a prism, you put a prism, the white light split, then you've got all the rainbow colors and everybody get a share of whatever color that you like. Now in the phenomenal world, you've got all the colors, everybody wear a different color. And now we are trying to force it back to the source, which is white. Okay. So now we are trying to force it back to the source, which is white. Then you have to gather all your rainbow colors, put in the prism, and then it will become white again, if you can get back the rainbow colors. Right? But if you cannot, then everything has dispersed. Then we have a problem because it's very, very difficult to get back to white. Right? So this is one. And the thing that puzzled me for a long time is the Akaliko timeless. And what exactly is timeless? Yeah. So it's been at least 2-3 years I was wondering what exactly is timeless. So I just play with either Fourier transform or Laplace transform. If it's a 50 Hertz, every 20 milliseconds you got one wave. If it's 100 Hertz, every 10 milliseconds you got one wave. Right? So now on the time spectrum, you got a lot of time. But on the frequency spectrum, then you got a lot of frequencies depending on what frequency you have. Like blue maybe 670 or magenta maybe another frequency. So we are trying to put all those frequencies together and make it back to white. Right? So now you are trying to do a Fourier transform of all the possible frequencies in the world that ever exist. Is it timeless or is it a source, a dot? That's the one that I couldn't quite figure it one out.
Frequency.
I explained that first. Don't have to become so complicated. Because Swee Aun is an electrical engineer. He likes to play it up. Please read this book, Ultimate Transformation. What is Akaliko? When your thought doesn't move, that is the timeless. This time is psychological time, understand or not? That's why at the title in front, you got physical time. You cannot change. Then you got psychological time. Then you got the timeless. When psychological time stops, means no creation, understand or not? That's why as far as you are concerned, the mind is concerned, it's timeless. That's why when you are without thought, when there is this phenomenal timelessness, that you can realize this, understand or not? So Akaliko is to be here. That's it, finish. So what Swee Aun trying to tell you is, through science you know, isn't it? The light source is white, isn't it? But you put a prism, triangle, then the different wavelength which he talk about create the color, understand or not? Also dependent originating, understand or not? Condition arising, understand or not? Science is about discovering the causes and conditions, because science also know the law of conservation of energy and mass. They know. Cannot come out of the system, that entropy. And those who study mechanical engineering, I think TK will know. Hey, you are not in engineering field. Oh, but you deal with bearing in the course, yeah. Just bearing, very mechanical. So whatever it is, all this is for you to understand. So don't go and complicate more things. Because what I told you is, when you create this phenomena through your senses, actually at the individual level, the problem is not that 6 types of consciousness. No. The problem is the content that all this deluded living being put in. No, the 5 aggregate form, all kind of people. No. And very, they call what? The funny type of people you call it, kuku huh? Not unsound. He can come up with all sorts of ideas.
Neurosis.
Not really neurosis. Like the way they think you cannot predict. The way they dare to think and put in the content, you can never predict.
Eccentric.
Something like that, eccentric. Because actually I use the word what they are capable of doing. The amount of content they put in, because I went through the training, then I contemplated, then I replied. Then for me it's very simple, very straightforward. But all these people who don't understand make it so complicated. Come up with everything. That's why you got gun shooting everywhere, conflict everywhere. So to me it's very simple. Our consciousness work following nature's condition, dependent originating. Why the Buddha say our consciousness is like a magician? You know how we create, how powerful our creation is? The moment you open your eye, what do you see? Within the field of vision, all this become real. Understand? You created it, exists already, so solid, you can even touch, the weather you can feel. Then the moment you close your eye, what happened? The whole creation gone now. You understand? Soo Yee just someone not so drastic. He saw the images, all the thing that he perceived and all that. Then this is the world that he has, is it based on the knowledge and all this thing. But if you talk about creation, every other sensor is like the eye, can actually create a lot of things. And this amount of thing and information that goes into the phenomenal world with every moment of consciousness and the content, you know how much havoc it creates. That's why that so-called phenomenal world of consciousness, you can never understand. That's why it has to like the law of karma, survival of the fittest. Something will happen, like for our planet, tsunami or war or what, wipe out all those that have very negative karmic consciousness. Then only the earth consciousness can become better, understand? You know why all this earthquake and all the things like tsunami or war? It's to kill all these violent people, understand? Selfish people, and to wipe them off. That's why our planet Earth is like a human being, a very big human being. It also has its planetary consciousness. What is our Earth planetary consciousness? Summation of what? Summation of all the beings that exist on this planet. Understand? And the human being is not the most, I tell you, but most sophisticated, most complicated, and most cunning. That is the human being. That's why your number may not be big now. The fishes in the ocean, they got no harm now. Understand? The inside only. The one that created all the havoc is the human mind. Understand? That's why the Buddha, when he came, this is the line where all the Samasa Buddha like to take his last birth. You know why? If you train this mind, it can be the highest ideal, Samasa Buddha. If you heedless, neglect this mind, he can bring it down to the lowest hell. And I tell you, a lot of hell being is all from the human right. You're alone coming shrewd. Too much knowledge. Now scam. Last time I got so rampant one. No, it's like day-to-day issue. Every country is experiencing billion and billion of scam money and all those things. So if you have the awareness to understand all this, you really look at the existence. This is really marvelous, wonderful. Understand? This is how you develop the understanding to understand all this. Yes.
I actually have a question. After I tried to share, and then after Brother Swee Aun shared, then I noticed I'm not very clear about the PWC. My analogy is because I thought this PWC is one we create each for ourselves, one world within each person, one PWC per person. But after I heard the example of the white light and everyone one color and all merged into here, that means PWC we all share, is it? That's my question. One PWC, everyone inside or?
Please, PWC is not a property where you can share. Because it arises through all the consciousness. Like I say, the planetary consciousness is the summation of what? All the beings. You think you share. Huh? You think you share, hey, this planetary consciousness, Earth, I got all your fun. Where got such thing? Then you come, you go. Other people come. Huh? You pass on your inheritance. Aiyo, it's not like our society where you got all the wealth, everything, and you can pass down. Even, let's say you can pass down. Is it real? Never real, understand? That's why phenomenal world, illusionary, impermanent, no reality, empty nature existed. Yeah, a lot of story, understand? A lot of complicated mystery and all that. But ultimately, empty, understand? 来也空，去也空. So when you are here, you got no identity, you got nothing. Then who project all this? Who worry about all this? It's the deluded one who believes this is you. That I can be part of this, I can own part of this. Because this fellow is never you. This fellow is dependent, originating with the consciousness, contributed to this fellow. You can see now. Can follow now? Yes. You don't follow. Now what I want you all to develop as further understanding is, as you cultivate, your horizon expand, your understanding expand. All this you think I read out? No, nobody taught me. Then how can I understand all this? And how can I share all this? It's because that consciousness, when it evolves, when it moves through the stages of body mind transformation, it develops the understanding. Understand now? And it can see the totality, It's not like the individual, like I told TK, the road level they see whatever within their vicinity and that level. Higher up they cannot see, they don't know what is happening. So all the individuals here also trapped in their own thinking, understand now? Their thought, activity. And this is the world to them, understand? Through all the knowledge they accumulate. And this is so insignificant now. You know why? Like I said, when I was 17 years old, I knew about science. Then I asked myself, I was facing the sky. I said, who am I? What am I? What the hell am I doing here? I cannot understand. I see that I am very insignificant, one of the 6 over billion. And yet the planet is so insignificant, one of the miserable 9 or 10 planets on this galaxy, or planet system, planetary system. So this one is only one of the minute sun. And the number of star system and sun, they are so immense. So you translate it back, who are you? You are so insignificant. They said they use the word a speck of dust in the universe. Understand? And yet you think you're very great. The human being on the planet still think they are very great. The President of America. This thing. Then you got the name Donald and all this thing. And everybody, wow, a lot of those followers praise him, but a lot curse him. That is the beauty of existence, life, understand? Wonderful existence. That's why when you understand all this, you just have the understanding, the joy, and laugh it out. Because this is life, existence. So understand and live, finish. Understand? After all, not so real, not what you think. But given this opportunity, there is such thing as life. This is what I mean. Wonderful existence can manifest if you have true cultivation. True emptiness leads to wonderful existence. That's why within true emptiness, there is wonderful existence. And that is life. That is the possibility. You may say reward and all those things, but ultimately it's empty. Hey no you, hey no me. So that segment that come, that witness all this, you think is real. It's also not real. But these are the wealth of understanding that you can accumulate where? You can accumulate up here, understand? Your spiritual nature. That every time you come, you are not like Sopakao or the Ulu. You have this potential to understand all this and to penetrate all these things. And you somewhat the one. Someone say, not time yet, wait, till I retire. Before you finally retire, maybe something else happens. So, don't assume. Then do you realize that all the perception that all these 7 billion now of humanity or human being, you think they are right perception or not? They are all wrong perception. Deluded wrong perception. That's a very chronic one. Not only that, because they don't have the direct seeing. Like Swee Aun and Sis Soo Yee say, you perceive it according to your own world. Understand? That's why the Buddha used the saying, we are the world, you are the world. They say, within this phantom-like body, along with perception, thought, and mindfulness, awareness, I proclaim the world. Means your world. The cause of arising of this world, how did it arise? Through karmic and all these things, understand? Then the cessation of the world, through enlightenment, understand? Then the path that leads to the cessation, noble eightfold path. And it's not wrong, understand? That's why he can see, he can say, you are the world, understand? And along this phantom-like body, just this one, along with perception, thought, and mindfulness, he can understand creation. That's why he can actually arise the world and develop the cause of its arising. So all this is the teaching, and he is very wise, where he has seen it. That's why he can say, and his Dhammapada verse, I tell you, evergreen one. Never become obsolete one. Not like our human discovery. You try to create one statement of truth or not long may become obsolete. Understand? Okay. Yes.
I got
yes.
one question.
Can.
Let's say we connected to our pure awareness nature. We still have many levels of cultivation we need to deliver, right? And let's say after we connect, unfortunately we pass away 1 month later, like that. Then we need to come back to do all over again, is it?
Very good question. Hey, don't laugh. Very good question. But he forgot. I teach you a secret. You don't have to come again. The Bodhisattva. study done and make sure that you have all this understanding. So every time you come, no need to learn again, understand now? The body mind will activate and all this understanding come back to you, understand? And yet you don't want to. You go and ask question, how I come back and learn again? Then please correct yourself. I connect, understand? You think that I is you. It's the form and mind, understand? But unique to your karmic nature, understand? Means that form and mind, that segment can only belong to your karmic nature, understand? It's part of your karmic nature's evolution. That's why our karmic nature, you know how you define it, it's summation of all your karmic imprint. Every segment of life you come, every moment of thought activity, summation of all that, and all the aeons and aeons of birth and death of all these segments. As a science student, even I know maths, I never have a problem of doing summation for such an immense thing. Understand? One segmented life, every thought moment, you know, take how long? How much rubbish inside there? And you have to sum up all the billions and billions and billions of birth and death. Then which one is you? None of them are you. And that is your karmic nature. That's why that nature is a nature, it's not being. You cannot actually deludedly say, hey, this is me. No, they say it's called a nature. Buddha nature is not the Buddha. It's a nature. So spiritual nature also says it's a nature. A nature is not an individual. That's why this one cannot come out and live life. But the karmic nature a bit different, a bit special. It's a nature, you cannot come out and live life, but it can produce a segmented life for you to come. Through what? Through your own avijja. You create your own samsara activity and movement. Through what? Avijja. But you know the secret, you take the bodhisattva away. Then you can also come, you can actually tell the karmic nature, I know how to come already. I don't need you already to avijja. That's why they come with a different understanding, but it's still connected up there. But you have the wisdom, the understanding, everything. That's why all these are evolution. And the most important thing is to understand that they are not a permanent unchanging entity, not real. They are all dependent originating entity, mind-made. Understand? Understand what is mind-made or not right now? And everything is not what you think. I already explained to you that. What are the conditions behind our arising as a human being? Revision. Very good. Then, it gets old. Then, rebirth consciousness, that through the karmic law, karmically conditioned out, then during the, what they call, before the birth process, after conception, there are certain time lag before the karmic, what they call, the last thought moment that condition the rebirth consciousness. So this rebirth consciousness, when they come, is unique to you. Because, do you know, I don't know, should tell you this or not. My last guy told me, he said, do you know how many beings fighting for my body? Fighting for that body to take rebirth. That is what he told me. No, he different understanding and different way. Need to fight one another. If your bodhisattva way, no need to fight one another. Yours means yours. So good to fight one. I also a bit confused. He said, this type of body with this type of DNA, all those things. He said, all these beings in the universe, they fight for you. All these things, how can you understand?
Just like the millions of sperm fighting for one egg.
That one, that's why we always heard this, we are all champions before. to take conception and come, you must be one of the champion during that conception era. But your parents never know that they give birth to a champion. So all this, as you develop the understanding, then you can see with a very much more wider horizon. So the purpose of sharing all this is because this teaching need to come out. So that when you all have this type of understanding, when you cultivate, you can actually make use of it to develop better and better understanding. Then all this will improve and evolve. It's just like the scientists. From the prototype, they keep on improving. Understand? So like the Bodhisattva, it gets more and more sophisticated. Everyone comes with new understanding, then with new virtue, wisdom and all those things. Then they come with this understanding, then they evolve. That's why Maitreya requested Malaysia to come out and share this. Because I have evolved recently, over, of course, quite long already. But I have this ability to share this, to teach this. And all the other bodhisattvas, they got their own uniqueness, like all the great beings. That's why they share different things. You can only come to know if you are the direct disciple, or the close disciple, or Kanyamita like my kids. Yeah? Then you can hear all this story and stuff. Otherwise, impossible. Understand? What time is it? 7 more minutes. Oh, 9:15. Okay, Maya can still read. I finished mine already. Okay. Michael, yes. Pass the mic to Michael. Yeah.
Got a broader skill. I just want to ask one question
Can.
regarding the Eightfold Path, which one of the path factors is the right concentration, samadhi. In the samadhi, they talk about meditative assumptions, and especially in the fourth jhana, they also talk about pure
equanimity,
pure mindfulness or pure mind and equanimity as well. So what's the difference between this pure mind and this pure mind?
I explain to you. First, I must correct first. The Noble Eightfold Path, under the Buddha's teaching, is Sama Samadhi, understand or not Samajana, understand. All the 四禅法定, the 4 form jhana and the 4 formless jhana, they are jhana. And you think the Buddha not as wise as to put the wrong word there? No. What is samadhi? In my whole book, I define as what? Collected and unwavering mind. But that is a free mind, no. Not a conditioned mind state like jhana, no. Focus, concentrate, and build up the energy. No. That's why that is not samadhi. Understand? No? So first of all, you must understand what samadhi is. If your mind is a free mind, yet collected and unwavering, means what? At the moment of sense experience, it's collected, isn't it? It's unwavering, isn't it? That's why it cannot waver. This is the samadhi. Even the sixth patriarch also explained it that way. His samadhi is not psychic. Even J. Krishnamurti also used the word. All these jhana, psychic, they are like paper tiger. Understand? What is paper tiger? Cannot bite you. Understand? Not harmful one, but can perform magic. So hopefully with this you understand. So when you go in with awareness base, it's not energy field. You don't have concentration, all those things. But this one is still within the field of thought. Understand? When you concentrate to one pointedness, you create energy field. Understand? And this energy field, before you become enlightened, is egoic. Understand? That's why those who do energy field, they can land themselves into a lot of what they call entanglement with Mara. You know what is Mara? More. You know what is Mara? M-A-R-A. These are mental Mara, not the real one. And this Mara, through your karmic and your greed or your ego, they come and haunt you and they test you. A lot of cultivators who do concentration, who do all this, they land into trouble. And one of them came to my class. Then when I shared it, she waited till the class over, quite an elderly lady. He came and approached me. He said, relative, thank you so much. Last time I don't know. I go and join all those retreats now, where they teach her how to do all the concentration of the jhana. Finally, he said, at first he thought it's a dream. Suddenly, he felt something like the Mara pull her hair out. So she thought it was a dream, but very painful. You know what happened? When she become conscious, wake up, really the whole skull landed in hospital. That's why I don't play a fool. Because psychic has its potential of this type of happening. But don't worry, if you cultivate sincerely, you will know how to avoid all this. All this will not bring about understanding. Understanding means what? Wisdom. Then I always emphasize, what free? Not all the fantastic meditation. It is your wisdom that free. Then those in jhana, do you know why the Buddha, the first two teachers that taught him Alara and Udaka, taught him until the 7th and 8th jhana? And he said this is not what he's looking for. Why? Because jhana cannot free the mind. The Buddha saw the 4 signs, okay? And he left the whole line and to be like an ascetic, samana. Why did he do that? Because he understands. He asked the attendant, what is this person? How come so sick, so old? Then he saw another old person. How come so old, so sick? Then diseased person, full of suffering. Then another one, dead person. Then the attendant said, everybody must experience old age, sickness and death. Finally, everybody died. Then he said he has a problem. That's why he has to search. Why? When he confront during old age, he cannot free. He got no answer. Even disease, he got no answer. And that time medical science not so advanced. Then death, he got no answer. That's why he searched. Then all these jhana, finally, you also cannot break free from old age, sickness and death. That's why he said, no, this is not what I want. He goes his separate way. Yeah. Then, because of his path, his search, then he realized through the enlightenment underneath the Bodhi tree that this 5 aggregate of form and mind is not him, understand or not? Means what? His problem of old age, sickness and death, no more, understand or not? We have the form, go the way of nature, that's why he can teach you. The reflection and all things. And do you think he depends on the jhana? Of course he developed it, and that's what he learned from the other two. But he didn't use that to break free. What happens when you are in that state of jhana is a conditioned mind, held by energy. And in the Sutta it's also taught, all your mental hindrances are suppressed. You read about it, right? It cannot surface. So like the analogy the Buddha gave over a glass of clear water. Initially it may be murky, but you leave it for a long time, it settles down and appears clear. But they have not rooted out the defilement, the 5 mental hindrances and all those things. So this one, the conditions spur, come on. So once you lost your ability to be in jhana, to have that type of mind, where it's a conditioned state, then based on your free mind with that physical body and all those things, and the consciousness track inside, how can you cope with life, the first noble true reality? Understand? That's why they have problem. as they approach old age, they lost their ability to maintain their jhana, then their mind become like doubtful, fearful. And that's how the problem starts. Then all this is very easy to understand. They don't develop wisdom. They develop strong mind. When the mental hindrance are suppressed, it cannot hinder you from entering the meditative state. That's why you say in the fourth jhana is equanimity in the meditative state. But that kind of equanimity, upekkha, is not the seven factor of enlightenment, number 7 one. That one is born of wisdom one. This one is energy field, one-pointedness. You know the 5 jhanic factors. Vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekaggata. Out of these 5, which is the enlightenment factor? Only piti, one-pointedness that hold the mind and build up the jhana energy. These are not enlightenment factor. Understand? So understand all this, then you will know. Then don't worry about what people say. Have an open mind. If you don't understand, investigate, find out. You don't have to trust what I share. In fact, what I share a lot not in the book one. It's up to you to find out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
you for the clarification.
Let us regard ALicia. Yeah. It's a very good question, Michael answer. We have a lot of cultivators, they have this doubt.
Radio 我不懂我的这个 sharing 跟在 Michael 有 relate 在 Michael 这个 question， 因为我现在理解到 Radio 讲的那个什么，你是在 daily 里面，你处在那个 awareness 的定里面是一个 free mind。So 那我就先讲讲那个 first circle 我以前的我。这个就是醉生梦死，梦幻人生。我叫它梦幻人生。你不知道你自己在做什么，也不知道你当下在做什么的，你完完全全是在 lost in thought 的。我经历那个10多年这样子的 depression 的 life， 然后就是那个50年，我的50年前50年就是这样子的，对，度过，对，wasted，OK 哈 ，until 我遇到 Brother Tew， 他跟我讲 Four Noble Truth， 我就好像有一点点醒了一点点，然后接着我就一直跟着 Brother Tew 的 guidance、teaching 一路的在走着过来，然后慢慢的去理解什么是 five aggregates 我们的 six sense door 怎样 function， 然后在meditation 去看，就是 aware 到悟到那个所谓的 five aggregates 是怎样 function whatever， 然后出来，然后现在我是处在那个pure awareness， 时常会。就是那个 third circle， 我所理解的啦哈，就是我尤其我这一次我来金马伦 ，despite 我这么的 busy schedule， 但是我有一个很宁静的心，就是我看东西其实很多时候是只是 aware 罢了，很定那种 awareness，aware 这样子。
Just like the Wong experience when you walk up the hill. Just that awareness once developed, it will transform you and you see the big difference. Compared to 以前啊，哎呦，那个苦到，来宣老师，
苦不堪言。
苦不堪言啊。
堪言了不能讲不出那种。所以 Radio 这个是我的一个 sharing，maybe 可以 inspire 所有的凯阿米达，继续努力加油，阿弥陀佛。
It's very good sharing. You see, at the age of around 50 years old, he had gone through 16 years of severe depression, ulcer, a lot of problems, and cannot even go out for dinner, meet people. So much heedless thinking, negative thought, cocoon of all this thought. And yet, he has the condition to come and meet up with me. Actually, a good friend of her, family friend. I remember that time Vincent and the wife Anna. I was teaching in Jakarta. Then they heard a lot of people got this type of depression problem, personal tourism problem. They cannot resolve, they come to me, then I help them to understand, and then got resolved. Then he came and I told him, he said, Brother, can you help my friend? I said, who is he? He said, very close friend. He said, he got depression and all those things. I said, provided he wants to come, otherwise, no need to trouble. So, then he was very happy. Then he went back and talked to ALicia. Then for 2 months, I didn't hear anything. But suddenly, after 2 months, he called me. He said, Brother, my friend coming tonight, Tuesday class. Huh? I said, good sign. And the first moment she walked in, the sign is all there. I can feel, my nature can feel her fear, her suffering, her misery, that emit from her body. And she cannot even lift her head up to see. Fong very excited. Don't worry. And you know what happened? That class is very funny, it's meant to be. Then suddenly my nature knew. That night I changed the topic now. You know what I teach? I share the First Noble Truth. A lot of example on First Noble Truth reality. Then halfway through the class, I saw that like there is a very faint like joy inside her. Like she saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Somebody who understands her, who can describe what suffering is. Then he got interested. After that, he chased and harassed Swee Aun for the recording. Every session, Swee Aun make it a point before midnight, she'll come out on the recording. Then she listened and intensely and with the faith, keep on listening, learning, listening. And he came out of it and became so beautiful. He just understands that this is attachment, craving. These are wrong thoughts, that condition of fear of things. So you have to straighten your view until then she starts to change. Try to think of wholesome thing, virtuous thing. Then like service to others, and then no negativity. Until later on in the cultivation where the mindfulness improve, develop, he can see all those habitual tendencies are the old wrong thought. The moment it surfaces, you know what he told us? He said, go here. He said, enough already. You have tormented me for 16 years now. Don't come again. But these are all the wrong thoughts that make her miserable and that create enmity, affliction, suffering. You know what I shared this morning? It's only a thought, isn't it? How come he has such power over you? Because you don't know it's wrong thought. So, and when you know what is wrong thought that condition your fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation, you dare to touch or not? Like Krishnamurti's example. What example he gave? The dark snake, very poisonous.
Oh, viper.
No, cobra. He said, do you need to learn from somebody? When you see the cobra, you dare not go near, he said. This is as serious as like keeping precept moral value. Whatever that harm people, cause all this. Then he saw it so clearly. He said, if it's a cobra, you dare to go near. You dare to do all those funny things. That is the wisdom he has now. He saw it. That's why when he see, it's like she saw, these are the things that make her miserable into depression for 16 years. And went to psychiatry, take all the Mac and all those things. Then finally, after she recovered, she dropped the thing over a short period of time. Then, no depression. Ulcer also recovered. Now very beautiful, very cheerful. The understanding everything, so serene, so tranquil. Then, full of life. And she became so efficient now after that, can help out the husband, do the business, help them become very efficient, save a lot of money. Then all-night trip to travel. Last time cannot do all this one. That's how he transformed him. And did you realize the example? And she shared because she wants you all to have the faith and persevere to do it. It's not difficult. People like her can do it. What more? And a lot of you have better condition. Your coming is not so kaolan. So these are good examples. Okay? So anyway, Michael, good question. Luckily you asked, otherwise you cannot clarify. Because this is like a stigma inside you. Where you got no answer. Then the doubt. You are not the only one. When I came out to teach, there are a lot like you. We are during the era, the early 2000 years, tsunami time. Jhana is very famous one. Everybody talk about jhana. Then over the years, after I come out to share, I don't know why, recently, I see all talk about awareness, mindfulness. Then J. Krishnamurti, Bayam Keti, Eckhart Tolle, all this follow come out. That's why it's very different. Then now you talk about jhana, like so few people interested. But don't worry, have an open mind. Just allow yourself to have the opportunity to investigate. But this could be your past cultivation that has gone through this. Then it comes. Then you are exposed to this. You are like the Buddha said, we are all born our karma. Heir to our karma. Conditions supported by we are what we are because of karma. So definitely a lot to do with karma, isn't it? You reap what you sow. So if it's karma, accept it. Let it arise. But you also have your good root. Otherwise you won't be here sitting here and listening to all this. And you won't be joining Big Feet. You should thank him. Gong Chai, you're all good gang of three. Very good friend. And now TK also here really. Then Po Chen came on her own earlier on, the other sister. So all this shows that you have your affinity, your parami. But karmic is not that. You have to ask for forgiveness for whatever karmic obstruction so that you can break free and follow the chanting book, the normal one. Whosoever from the distant past, whether knowingly or unknowingly, that I have caused any suffering, misery, harm, but you have to add in one. Like AB, the first retreat, I think she asked. Then he said, but still can I add in? Misled. That one very important. If you don't add in that one, the obstruction continues. These are the people. Because at that time you don't know. Understand? You don't understand. Then you have faith. Then you go and promote. Understand? So it's like you go and promote. You will get into trouble. Because somebody asked Master Shen one question, very good question. He said, got monk very famous, he said. Very popular. A lot of wealthy devotees go and join him and all that thing. During the 80s, this person really, I think, famous. Or I don't know how to use the word notorious or famous. Anyway, famous. Then Shenhua replied, very good. He said, very easy to understand, isn't it? He said, drug, everybody knows it's harmful, isn't it? True or not? And yet so many people go after it all. Understand or not? Why? We are coming. Understand or not? Drug also you can be interested or not. You are lucrative, understand or not? Got money, push drug, got money. But the coming is, you reap what you sow, you become the victim. Next time you end up the victim, drug addict, then people push to you. There is coming, understand? So, Shenhua's example was very good. When he answered, everybody burst into laughter. So these are the understanding. Okay, we better end. Sadhu. Very good. Today sharing very good. Although we didn't progress much. But it's okay. Watch the session. Okay. Anybody want to do any chanting? Come. What was it? You want? Sing lah. Brother soft. Then it be maybe chant the Mangala Sutta. Sutta on blessing. The other mic, where's the other mic, the black color? No, this one cannot work on. There's a Swee Aun doesn't work. No, there's a black one. Who is holding the black one? English side. That one very, very clear. Swee, 你拿去摘。哦，没有 battery 啊，weak。Yeah.
揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃，揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃，揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃，观自在菩萨行深般若波罗蜜多时，照见五蕴皆空，度一切苦厄。舍利子，色不异空，空不异是色，即是空，空即是色。受想行识亦复如是。舍利子，是诸法空相不生，不灭，不垢，不净，不增，不减。是故空中无色无受想行识，无眼耳鼻舌身意，六色声香味触法，无眼界乃至无意识界，无明亦无明尽，乃至无老死亦无老死尽，无苦集灭道，无智亦无得亦无所得故，菩提萨埵波罗
州、四大明州、苏三州、苏等等州能出一切无真实不虚，故说般若波罗蜜多咒解说。咒曰：揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃，揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃。揭谛揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃。Okay, now we read the chant, the Mangala Sutta on blessing. The Sutra on the highest blessing.
This is before the retreat book.
Yeah.
Maha Mangala Sutta. Discourse on the highest blessing. Evang me sutang ekang samayang bhagava savatiyang viharati jedavane anada pindikasa arame adako anyatara abhikantaya rattiya abhikantavanna kevalakappam jetavanam tovasetva yena bhagava tenupasankani upasankamitva Bhagavantang avivadetva ekamantang attasi ekamantang titako sadevata Bhagavantang gataya ajabhasi Bahudeva manusaca manggalari acintayung akan kemana sottanang bruhi manggalamuttamang asevana jabalanang panditanang sevana puja ca pujaniyanam etang manggalamuttamang padirupa desavasoca bubbhe ca kata punyata atta samma panidhica etang manggalamuttamang bahusaccanca sikpanca vinayo ca susikkito subhasita ca yavaca etang manggalamuttamang mata pitu upathanang putta darasa sanggaho anakula ca kammanta etang manggalamuttamang Mani Etang Mangala Muttamang Arati Virati Papa Majjapama Ca Samyamo Appamado Ca Dhammesu Etang Mangala Muttamang Garavo Ca Nivato Ca Santutti Ca Katanyuta Kalena Dhamma Savanang Etang Mangala Muttamang Khanti Ca Sova Cassata Samananam Ca Dassanang Kalena Dhamma Sakacca Etang Mangala Muttamang Tapo Ca Brahmacariyan Ca Ariya Saccana Dassanang Nibbana Saccikiriya Ca Etang Mangala Muttamang Buddhassa Loka Dhammehi Cittang Yassana Kampati Asokang Virajang Khemang Etang Mangala Muttamang Etadisani Kattvana Sabbattama Parajita Sabbatta Sotting Gaccanti Thang Desang Mangala Muttamanti Etena Sacca Vajena Hotu Te Jaya Mangalam Etena Sacca Vajena Hotu Te Jaya Mangalam Etena Sacca Vajena Hotu Te Jaya Mangalam Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu.
So this sutta is very meaningful, sutta on the highest blessing. So maybe another day I explain this under the morning reflection. Remind me. Yeah, this one, you want to receive the highest blessing. How can it be achieved or realized? So during the Buddha's time, the devas, they were very interested. So what constitutes highest blessing? Means how to cultivate it, or how to live a life that is in accordance with this highest blessing. So you can check whether your cultivation progresses or not. If out of all this, you have at least 9 out of 10, very good already. Yeah, I think 9 out of 10 is 90% out of 38. You already very good already. But when I look at it, I was so surprised. Every one of them I have. when I was cultivating at that time, I don't know about this sutta. After 1989, I suddenly bumped into this sutta. Then I come out and teach. I need to know a little bit. Then immediately no one. Chanting, don't ask me. That is not my field, not my specialty. But then I got interested in it because I realized all this is how Sakyamuni actually Buddha teach. He came across all this, that's why they come and refer. Then when we go through, you will have a lot of joy. If you have been cultivating correctly, you should have at least 80% of it. It's not difficult, all these are not difficult. Maybe except the few need mindfulness one, if you have not developed it, then not easy. But most of your awareness-based meditation, you should be able to have all this. Okay? So let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So let us recall to mind today all our very beautiful sharing and wholesomeness. And may we now dedicate these merits and wholesomeness to all beings, starting with the devas. Akka Saka Cha Bhumata Deva Naga Mahindika Punyantam Anumoditva Chiram Rakantu Loka Sasana Tavata Chamehi Sampadam Punya Sampadam Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sapasampati Siddhya Idam me nyatinam hotu Sukhitam hontu nyatayo Idam me nyatinam hotu Sukhitam hontu nyatayo Idam me nyatinam hotu Sukhitam hontu nyatayo Devo vasatu kalena Sasa sampati hetu cha Vito bhavatu loko cha Raja bhavatu dhammiko Imina punyam kamena Mane bala samakamo Sattam samakamo hotu Yava nivana bhaktiya Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, you all can now pay respect mindfully to the Lord Buddha, Koine Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones, the great beings.
Dear all, before we call it a day, let's bow to Triple Jam and Bhakti. Bow. 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 Thank you, my dear.